Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to a new video. Today's video I'm going to tell you exactly how much I paid for this black RX7. I'm also going to do a walk around video on the car, show you what it's got, what's on it, what's wrong with it, and why did I buy it. So let's go through and start it up. So behind me I have a 1997 Touring X RX7 FD 3S. Now I'll be honest with you guys, this was not my first choice at the auctions. Now the reason why I bought this car, I had a certain amount of money that I was willing to pay for a car, and it was plus minus about $5,000, and I was trawling japanpartner.com, placing bids on certain cars that I thought I'd win, and it was my first time buying an RX7. Obviously this is my first RX7, and I sat for roughly about 4 to 5 weeks. I kept losing bids. I came close in a couple of cars, but my expectations were a lot higher for what I'd be getting for $5,000, and I am a bit of a Mazda, and that's all I wanted to spend. Now the time zones are very different between where I live in South Africa and Japan. So I was having to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning some days and chat to the exporter and also look at the auctions and follow my bids, and I was pretty much following my bids live. I was super tired. My daughter was about 3 or 4 weeks old. I decided to put some late night bids or early morning bids on a few cars. I received a phone call the following morning. I ended up winning an RX7. Now I'm super excited. They told me I won black RX7 1997, this car behind me, and then I saw the auction sheet. I don't know what I did, I bid it on this car. It's not what I wanted. I wanted a C grade for interior and a D grade exterior, or vice versa, and I ended up winning a DE. So this was a D on the exterior and an E on the interior, which, for those of you that don't know, that's basically like a rating out of 5, so E is pretty much the worst that you can get. The car is in really bad condition. It is a little bit better now. There is a lot of work that still needs to be done. I ended up winning this car for way less than what I actually wanted to spend, and I won the car for $2,000. It was actually under $2,000. Now you guys can do the maths and shipping and all the costs. I paid next to nothing to get this car back here, and that's why I have 2 RX7s. Now this video has absolutely nothing to do with this car, but this is my 1997 Type RS. If you guys haven't seen it, this was the car that I purchased after the black one. Now this, stock standard, absolutely nothing done to it. I've changed these bits since the car had arrived, but the car was 100% standard. Now this car cost 5 times the price. Now these BBS LM2s, these were originally on the black car. I did do a swap, and on the black car right now are the Type RS wheels. So that is the honest truth, how I won this car. It was a fail on my part. I wasn't supposed to win this car. I was supposed to never have this car, but fate has it here and it's with me. Now I'm going to do an honest review of this car as soon as I get the licensing. I'm getting the licensing this week, which means the car will be fully road legal and I'll be able to drive it whenever I want, however I want. Now I've never done a walk around on this car. It's been a little bit embarrassing to show people because of the condition that it is in, but it's all fixable and it's all negligible. So the interior was rated as an E, which is pretty much the worst, but it was littered in dog and cat hair all over, in the seats, everywhere, you name it. There was cat hair, dog hair everywhere. Might still be a little bit in here, but most of it is out. I mean, it was full. I could pull out clumps, and the entire car was littered with that. The car was also littered with electronics. It had a nav system, it had all sorts of microphones in it, aerials, these long aerials that you'd pull out from here, one on either side. It had like some sort of satellite TV system as well. It was really littered with rubbish electronics, stuff that I would never need, never use. So I did replace and insert the double DIN radio. Now the car isn't automatic, and that is why I got it so cheap. When I won the car, I thought, okay, not a bad thing. I'm going to change it from an auto, get a new ECU, put a manual box in, and it's not a big deal. Obviously plans have changed. I now have the Type RS. Now the only electronic bit that I decided to keep was the turbo timer. And as for the interior itself, the seat condition average is a cigarette burn mark on here, which is rather annoying. That seat is in near perfect condition, just needs a little bit of a wash. There's scuffs and scratches. The rear seats are in pretty decent condition. There's some residue on there, some glue or something that can come out, and can come out rather easily. Most of the stuff is broken. So the hooks on here, broken. There's a hairline crack on here, rather annoying. Everything else works, the locking mechanisms work, the unlock works, the auto functions work, the electric windows work. This, however, the clip inside is broken, so someone has thrown a bunch of tape on it. But I can sort that out. I can do some plastic welding and fix it up. Now this piece, the clips on the inside are broken. I just need to fix that. It's not a huge deal, and it's kind of pushed out at the moment because there's a boost pipe here that for that boost gauge that I actually need to fit. This sucks. Someone drilled holes into the dashboard, and there were some gauges there, and they were really cheap, shitty gauges. On the passenger side, this still needs a polish. The mats are pretty neat, nothing wrong with the mats, good condition. This seat's fantastic. This just needs to get tucked back because I had to lift everything up and I didn't put it back properly. A few scuff marks. This side's really good. I mean, it looks like he just drove around by himself most of the time. And yeah, that side's all scratched and scuffed. However, this is torn. That's torn. That's annoying. The hinges are broken on this. So I kind of just slam it shut, but you can see it's loose. That's fixable. I've already pulled it out. I've had a look at the hinges and I can fix it. I can do plastic welding on that, no problem. The Touring X was equipped with a sunroof. Sunroof functions, no issues. On the center console, everything's working. Knobs are working. That's all fine. Air conditioning works. There's a bunch of residue up at the top here, which can come out. Just haven't had the time to clean it up. But you can see there was some electronic bit over there, one over there, one over there, another one there. And then there was something at the back here, and there was also stuff hanging from here. Clip's broken over there. That one's got a clip, but all fine. This side broken. Now you can see why they graded this as an E interior, but to me this stuff is negligible. Obviously I wouldn't have bought this car knowing fully that it had all these issues. But I can fix most of the stuff. I mean, even this, I can sand this down, I can fill it up with some Q-bond and then blend it. All in all, it was obviously used for storage. It's got scuffs everywhere, along here, along there. Very different if you had to compare this to the Type RS. The Type RS is spotless. The trunk or the boot is near immaculate, it looks brand new. This model had no strut brace across as standard, and there's also no parcel shelf that comes with the car. So that was not an option on this. Now this is a JDM Touring X model. It's not the same as the Touring X model that you guys got in the US. Now let's talk about the exterior of the car. The exterior is graded as a D. Now it had a little bit of rust on the car, which I've mostly sorted out, but I'm not finished yet. So there are rust spots in here. I've just done some hammerite, and I need to actually sand it down, blend it, and do this whole section here. New clear coat, everything. But that's something for another time. Same with here, rust spots. Missing paint in a lot of the section. Paint chip over there. Missing paint. Missing paint. Lights are fully functional. The lip is cracked over here. Now there are a couple dents on this car, one being over there, but they're all tiny. They can all be pulled out and all sorted out. This, unfortunately, happened when the car arrived here at the shipping yard. Someone backed into the vehicle while it was still out of my possession. There was nothing I could do. We have been reimbursed and I do need to get that sorted out, but I'm planning on, when I do have some spare cash, just get the whole car redone. In the initial photos, or the low quality photos that I did see before I got a full video of the car, I did think that this could potentially have been an RE Amemia. Obviously not. Number plate holder is rusted. A little bit of rust over there. The trunk lid or boot lid, it does have holes here from a wing that was on the car, and you OG guys will remember on the channel, this car used to have a veil side wing. That's since been removed. But there were some extra holes that were drilled into the car to get that wing to fit. There's a little bit of damage here. This has obviously been backed up somewhere and cracked. A little bit of paint missing over there. This door is a slightly different color to the rest of the car. Pretty sure you guys can see that in the video. So this door's obviously been replaced. Something happened, could have been an accident, I don't know, but it's been replaced with another door. So that's why I want to get this whole car redone, get all these things sorted out, do it all together. On the bonnet, bit of paint missing. The bush was gone on this wiper initially, and it was kind of like sagging at the bottom, so this section here was rubbing up against here. So every time you swung the wipers, it would come back, bang, 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 knock that, and every time you open up the bonnet, this would scrape on here. Rather annoying. I've sorted out the bush, that's all fixed. Now with regards to the braking and the suspension, the hub assembly was completely rusted on this car. It was so bad underneath that we had to rip apart all the parts, sandblast it, clean it up, and respray. Let's move on to the engine bay now. This is probably one of the only areas in the car that was in decent condition or working. There was one fault, this pipe here. Now this is a very common issue. There's a piece of plastic that sits on this end that's supposed to come up to about here, and that kind of just peeled itself and died, and exactly the same thing happened on my Type RS. So I'll just put in this for temporaries, and well, it seems to be serving the purpose. The AST cracked about 2 weeks into getting the car. It pissed out radiator fluid everywhere, so I had this reinforced, changed all the nozzles to copper nozzles, and it seems to be working okay. I'm probably going to leave it on this car for now. However, the other car, probably going to delete or get an alloy one. Now this car came with the HKS Super Power Flow intake system. There's another one hiding at the bottom there. Nothing wrong with them. I'm probably going to clean them up and move them to the other car and put the standard system back on this car. I'm going to try and get this car back to standard as much as possible, but for the most part the engine bay just needs a clean up. I mean, there's a lot of grime here and a lot of dirt and a little bit of polish in the engine bay, and it'll be looking good again. Take off this junkyard pen writing, clean up. There's a blow-off valve on this car. It's a Blitz blow-off valve. A little bit of rust on some of these bolts. Actually, most of them have got rust on it, but for the most part it's okay. The car runs. It smoked once before, it hasn't smoked again. On starts it smokes probably for 5-10 seconds, and then it doesn't smoke anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was a super honest walk around of my Touring X RX7 FD. Now I have been embarrassed to show you guys some of the issues, but you know what, I want to be honest, that's the car. It's not the greatest. I picked it up cheap and still got a lot of potential. You guys let me know what you think. Obviously it's an auto. A lot of you guys are going to say, oh, an auto. Forget about the auto for now. Tell me what you think about the car as is and the price that I paid for it. If you dudes want to see an honest walk around video on my Type RS, probably going to be a lot shorter than this one. There's not much wrong with the car, but it'll be an honest walk around on the car, and I'll show you guys what's wrong with it. Let me know, smash that like button. If you want to see an honest walk around on the R32 GTR, let me know too. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.
Money my Chevy earned, and Tuesday is ocean blue. 28 sit over you, Ferrari drops and Rover school. You sit them out, TVs I'ma flip them out. 50-50 play, tell them, ship it out. Down, shining rolls.